Hello guys, welcome to a new review video. In this video we're gonna review Sony a6000 mirrorless camera. So this is a very small, nice and compact mirrorless camera from Sony that was launched in 2014. So it's almost 8-year-old now. But still this camera is pretty good in 2022. You can get great results even with this small camera that is 8-year-old. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, before you see the further video, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you get always notified whenever I post a new video. You can check out all the different camera gear reviews, lenses reviews, and also the photography tips and tutorials in this channel. Alright guys, let's begin the video. So this is a really nice compact camera. The weight of this camera is around 340 grams. So that is super light, and if you see the size of this camera, it is like smaller than my palm. And in terms of thickness as well, it is so thin. Actually, you can keep this in your coat pocket, or if you are wearing a winter jacket, you can put it in your pocket very easily. Even the lens that comes with this, it is very tiny. It's a power zoom 16 to 50 f3.5 to 5.6 aperture lens. So this is a very small nice lens actually, and this lens has optical image stabilization built into that, so you can get really nice shots handheld, and you can also make nice videos handheld as well. If we talk about the technical specification for this camera, it has a 24 megapixel sensor, which is really nice. The low light performance on this camera is really nice. The ISO range for this camera is from 100 to 25,600. You can expand it to 51,800 as well. But if you talk about the low light performance, this camera is a beast. It does take really very nice low light images even though it is 8-year-old. If we talk about the frame per second on this camera, it can take 11 frame per second. It can take 11 photos in 1 second, so that is really good for such a small camera. If we talk about the battery life for this camera, the battery life is really bad. You can hardly get 200 or 250 shots with the full charge of the battery, but that is something you would expect from entry-level mirrorless camera. So if you want to have this camera, you should invest in having one extra battery as well. If you have two batteries, then it would be really good. Once the battery runs out, you can swap the battery and you can put the other battery on charging. If we talk about the video aspect for this camera, so this can record full HD 60 frame per second. So 60 frame per second is really good, because some of the other entry-level cameras from Canon, they are only having 30 frame per second shooting. So on this one you get 60 frame per second, so that gives you an extra edge. You can get sharper looking video. And guys, this camera does not have microphone jack, so you cannot connect a external microphone in this camera. So if you want to get a better audio, you need to have an external recorder, and then you will have to sync the audio and the video in the post. So that is a bit of a cumbersome job for you. So that is something I did not like about this camera. If we talk about the screen on this camera, so it has an interesting screen. So this one has a kind of tilting screen. So this tilts like this. You can tilt it a little bit down, you can tilt it up like this. So it can be useful if you are taking overhead shots, or if you are taking shots that are like really low. But if you want to see yourself in the frame, this is not the best camera for that, because if you are doing vlogging, you want to be able to see whether you are in focus, whether you are in the frame or not. So then this camera is not that great for vlogging or making self video. But if you want to make video of other people or cinematic b-roll kind of video, then this camera will do the job really well. And the images that comes out of this camera are really very nice. The dynamic range on this camera is really very good. You can get really nice landscape photos with this camera. If you are shooting in RAW, then you can really get the highlights down, and you can boost up the shadows, and you can get really nice SDR image. If we talk about other technical specification, If we talk about the other technical specification, this camera can support the HDR photography up to -5 EV level. So you can take exposure bracketing up to like -5 and +5 level. So you can get really very stunning HDR images with this camera. This camera offers you Wi-Fi, so if you want to pair this camera with your smartphone, then you can very easily do it using the Sony app, and then using your mobile phone you can control the screen, you can change the focus point, and you can record videos as well. And then this flip out screen will not be a problem for you. Even though this doesn't have a flip out screen, then it won't be a problem for you because you would be able to see yourself in the frame on your mobile phone. And guys, the screen on the back of this camera is not a touch screen, so that is one drawback on this camera. You have to use the buttons to navigate between the menus, which is not that great. And this is one downside of this camera. The menu system sucks really. In order to find a setting, it's a pain in the ass to find a setting, really guys. It takes, even if you are using this camera for a long time, still you never get used to the menu system. Either you have to make your own menu system using like the frequently used options that you use, then you can build up your own shortcuts for that. So but if you have to find settings in the menu, then it is very confusing. This is not a very easy to use camera in terms of finding the settings, guys. If we talk about the autofocus point on this camera, it has 179 autofocus point, and believe me guys, the autofocus on this camera is very good. It's stunning, like it's even better than Canon M50, I would say. And when it comes to tracking of your face, it tracks your face very smoothly, very easily. And the focus hunting is not there in this. Focus is very smooth. When you are changing the focus point, it goes very smoothly, and there is not much hunting, and it is very quick to grab the focus, guys. If we talk about the EVF on back of this camera, it has a 1.4 million dot EVF. So this EVF is not that high on resolution if you compare it with the M50, but it does the job. It's not the greatest EVF. So if you are too much into photography, this doesn't give you a very good pleasing experience, guys. If we talk about like the grip on this camera, it is very tiny actually, so the grip is not that great. Like it feels more like a toy rather than a camera in your hand. And the ergonomic on this camera is not that great. Even there are not that many buttons, and the buttons are very small. So if you are a DSLR shooter who is primarily a photographer, you will not love this camera because you are used to having like bigger buttons, and which are easy to play around, having more dials. But this one doesn't have that many dials, and it is a bit not that great to use, and changing the settings and all that, it's not that easy on this camera, and the grip is not that great. It doesn't feel great in your hand. One really good thing that I found about this camera was the flash. So I will show you. So there is a small pop-on flash. So usually most of the camera have a fixed flash, but this has a tiltable flash, so you can actually push this flash with your finger. So if you want to bounce the light off the ceiling, you can do that on this camera. So when the light will bounce off the ceiling, it will become slightly more soft, and your photo and images would look much better rather than firing the flashlight directly onto the face. Another good thing about this camera is the eye tracking autofocus. So you have the feature to have eye autofocus when you are taking photo, and it is really nice. But the subject has to be like a little bit close to the camera in order for it to detect your eyes. If it can't detect your eye, it will detect your face. But the autofocus works great, and it takes really very sharp image. So guys, now I'm gonna put the photos that I've taken with this camera onto the screen, and you would be able to check for yourself how the photos from this little nice camera looks like. And for me personally, I really like the photos because in terms of the sensor quality and the ISO and the dynamic range and the color rendition, this is a very nice camera because it has everything that you need for a camera, except for the fact that it comes in a smaller body. It doesn't have that many buttons, but if for you the size of the camera doesn't matter, and if you are able to get used to the feel of this camera, then this camera can really take very stunning photos. And you are already checking out how good photos this little beast can take, guys. And I personally really like all the photos that I've taken with this camera. I use this 16 to 50 kit lens along with this camera, but if you have the 50 mm prime lens for the Sony E mount, then you can get even more nicer professional looking photos, and you can get really nice background blur in your photos. You can take some portrait photos as well, so that would make the images even more stunning if you combine that lens with this. Now I'm gonna talk about the video. So I'm gonna put the video sample that I've taken with this camera onto the screen, guys, so you would be able to check for yourself how the video quality from this camera looks like. And guys, if you need 4K, if you need a input for the microphone, then you should go for A6100 or A6400 camera instead of this camera. Hello guys, so this is the footage directly from the A6000 camera, and I am using the 16 to 50 mm kit lens, and I'm doing a voiceover on the original video, because the original video that I had recorded was in a different language, Hindi. So I'm doing a English voiceover on that, and you can already see that the image looks stunning from the just out of the camera. And it is having optical stabilization as well in the lens, so it is really good to shoot handle. And the autofocus works great, so I try to autofocus on different part, and it is very snappy. It doesn't hurt, and it is very quiet, and the autofocus goes from one place to another place in a very smooth manner. And the details and the quality of the video already looks very stunning. So it is a great camera if you want to do some video work as well, so it can do the job. The only downside is that you don't have the microphone input on this camera, but if you can record external audio, then it can do a great job. Personally, I really like the video that came out of this camera. Now I'm gonna show you a close-up of how this camera actually looks like. So from the front it looks like this, because I'm having this 50 mm lens, so it is giving you a really nice shallow depth of field. And this is the power zoom lens that comes with the camera. So you can see the mode dial. This is one mode dial we have over here. This is the on off switch, and also you press this to take the photo. And one bad thing about this camera is that the SD card goes inside this battery compartment, so every time you want to take the SD card out, you have to open this battery compartment, and if you have this on a tripod, then it becomes even harder. And this tiltable screen you see, and from the back you can see this is a small EVF, and the EVF is on the side, which I don't like. If it was in the middle, it would have been slightly better. And these are some of the small buttons that it has. So it's a very basic setup for the buttons, and it's not a touch screen, so it's not easy to navigate. The flash, of course, is over here. It's hidden here. And this is the hot shoe mount for this camera. Alright guys, now we're gonna do the final conclusion. Should you get this camera in 2022? And if you want to get it, for how much price should you get it? So well guys, you can get this camera for around $300 to $350 depending on the condition of the camera. But I would say $300 to $320 would be a very good price for this camera in 2022. And should you get this camera, well, I can say definitely you can get this camera, because this is the cheapest mirrorless camera from Sony, which has all the features like EVF, because some of the other mirrorless camera that comes from Sony or Canon, they are lacking this EVF. And if you are into photography, you need this EVF to get more steady shots. And this has a lot of features, like it even has a micro adjusting feature for the lenses, so you can micro adjust the focus of your lenses as well. Some of the features that this small camera has, even some more expensive camera don't have it. So for a very cheap price, you can get an entry into the Sony world of mirrorless camera. And this has the E mount, so you can use all the Sony E-mount lenses on this camera, and this camera can take great images. It can take nice videos in 60 frame per second in full HD. If you don't mind external recording onto some external audio devices, then you can sync the video and audio in the post, so then this camera can be a great choice for you. But if you are looking for something that shoots in 4K, then this camera is not for you. Then you should go for Nikon Z50 or Nikon ZFC, or you can go for Fujifilm or Fuji X-T30, or in Sony side you can go for Sony A6100, A6400 cameras, guys. But if you don't need 4K, you just do photography and some videos and some casual video recording stuff, then this camera can be a great choice for you. Very cheap entry into the Sony world of mirrorless camera, guys. I hope you like the video. If you have any question, you can write your comments down below and give me a thumbs up if you really like the video, and subscribe to the channel, share the video and press the bell icon. You can also follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions, you can directly message me over there. I always reply to each and every one of you, and I need your support to grow this channel and this family, and I expect that from you guys. So please do subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.